Traveler, Pаймon, please let me be your partner for the final round. I'd like your assistance with this investigation, since you two are the only...
That's fine with Paimon. What do you think, Traveler?
I have a few theories, but we don't have enough leads yet. There are some places I'd like to investigate first.
Sure. Where would you like to start?
I want to go back to where we first met up. According to your accounts, you and... I believe there may still be some clues there.
Do we really have to go there?
Are you worried that she'll be waiting for us? If anything, that would make my worry, is that we won't be able to find her. Honestly...
Wow, Hazel. You're fearless.
The more cases you see, the less afraid...
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
This should be approximately where you first encountered the ghost. Of course, we cannot conclude whether the woman is actually a ghost, but I'd like to go over everything that happened again. Do you recall any...
Let Paimon think. She warned us not to go near her, and she said if we didn't leave, our souls would become trapped here. Ooh, Paimon doesn't want to remember that moment. Paimon...
And then what happened?
Then, everything seemed to get darker, and Paimon started to feel dizzy. Paimon saw some sort of black mist surrounding the ghost, and then Paimon passed out.
Based on your account...
Exactly! So are you convinced it was a...
It's possible, but I'm more interested in what she's actually trying to... Even if she is a ghost, as long as she possesses some sense of reason...
Wasn't she after our souls? She said that her...
I think she was just trying to scare you.
Oh.
Think about it. If I had the ability to take your souls, then why go to the trouble of war? Besides, a ghost wouldn't have allowed you to walk away knowing about...
That does make sense.
I believe there are only two possibilities. The first is that she wanted to reap your souls, but there was some But if you had really been cursed, then you would probably have noticed it by now. So, this is the less likely scenario. I believe she was just...
But why would she want to scare us away? Maybe she was trying to get us to quit so she could claim the Test of Courage prizes. Oh. Probably not. So why does she want to scare us?
Based solely on your account, I don't believe she actually meant any harm. She just... But this evidence alone is insufficient, though my intuition is telling me that neither... Have you found any leads yet?
Yeah, some tree branches seem like they were bent by something, but...
I see. After you left, I took a good look. Aside from the bent branches, there are burn marks in some places, but that doesn't really... If only there was some more conclusive evidence.
Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, it's you guys! What are you all doing here?
We heard you were out searching for clues, and we wanted to help.
Oh, that's really brave.
Actually, we're also really unsure. We just asked the members of Mr. Ito's gang about what happened to them. And it sounded that lady is either a nasty evil spirit or a formidable yokai. But we still want to hold the Mikawa Flower Fest.
We long admired the friendship between Lord Kamai, which is why we want to hold the Mikawa Flower Festival. Even though our powers are limited, we don't want this bond of friendship to vanish.
The Chinju Forest covers a large area, so welcome to the team. Let's all do our best to figure out what's going on.
Don't worry, we're very familiar with the area.
Water gliding.
Look what I found down by the river! Huh? What is it?
Is it a scrap of black cloth? I've never seen fabric like...
This is a piece of shade cloth.
Shade cloth?
Yeah, it can effectively block out light and is used in a variety of settings, including stage performance. There's a rough tear in the cloth, probably caused by a sharp stone, or maybe...
Branches.
Suppose that a large shade cloth was originally hung from a tree, bending the branches. When the shade cloth was removed from the tree, perhaps one of the corners caught. Either she didn't care, or she was in too great a hurry.
But why would she hang shade cloth in the trees?
I'm only speculating, but maybe she used it to create the atmosphere you... Let's not worry about that for now. There's still many Next, I'd like to investigate the place where the Arataki...
Oh, I know. I asked the gang members where their encounter with the ghost happened when we were chatting earlier.
Good. Please lead the way. Let's go find out what's going on.
This is the place. They claimed that as they passed through here, the area suddenly grew dark, and some ghostly flames...
Huh. What a coincidence. We saw the very same thing.
Let's start by taking a look around the area, just as we did before.
I found some sort of smell. The inside of it looks like it was blackened by smoke.
Uh-huh.
Judging from the burn marks left on the scene, the ghostly flames you saw, rather, they appear to have been caused by...
There's some strange powder in the cracks of the... I picked some up and sniffed it to see what it is.
Similar scare tactics. And she didn't... I believe we're close. I'm almost certain that the woman you encountered wasn't... She possesses no extraordinary powers. She was merely scaring people with some small props she had set up.
Some small props? But...
First and foremost, the test of courage contributed to the unsettling... You were initially frightened by your first encounter with these 3 yokai. And then, because you were already tensed up, you were breathing more rapidly and inhaled a lot of sleeping powder that she had sprinkled around. That's when she pulled down the shade cloth and lit those so-called ghostly flames, creating a terrifying scene.
So, it was all just...
she tricked us.
There is, however, still one loose end. The person who commissioned my investigation did become stranded. That couldn't have been accomplished by just a few small props. But it...
Oh, Pаймon can't wrap her head around...
She can only use props to scare people in the forest, but she can use strange powers.
Whoa, that was fast.
If we rule out the potential of organized crime, then only one possibility... I know who the woman is. Let's go to the beach.
We'll come along.
No, you should go back and tell the others not to be The truth has surfaced. It's time to put an end to all the unnecessary...
Okay, but please, if you run into any danger, simply...
There shouldn't be any danger now, but thank you anyway. Let's search along the cliffside. If I'm not mistaken, there should be a chunk of earth that's unlike the others.
I knew it. I knew that you would come find me here.
There she is. Pаймon thought you were a yokai like the others, but so... Who are you? And why did you try to scare us?
I have already warned you never to speak to me. If you don't leave now, then...
She's terrifying! Hazel, it sure doesn't seem like she's using any...
Don't move. Just trust me. Your yokai power won't scare us. It will only hasten your demise.
Yokai power?
Huh? How did you know?
You're a yokai that emerged from an object and assumed a human form outside of your own body. When this type of yokai is close to its own body, it can use some yokai power. but that ability weakens as it moves further away. And if the original body is destroyed, then the yokai that originated from it will like... Should I refer to you as a Hagoita spirit or Tsukumogami?
Don't bother. You may call me Hanyuda Chizuru. That is the name I go by.
Chizuru, why do you want us to leave? If you're a yokai, you should understand why the other yokai want to... Besides, we had a great time playing Akitsu Yugen together, didn't we?
Yes. That's why. That's why I don't want you to be sad too.
Sad? What do you mean?
I'm sure the yokai have already told you, but they don't actually know The samurai was about 25 years old when they met at the festival. They met again 10 years later and remained friends. They spent time together drinking, traveling, and sparring. When they had first met, they merely respected each other, but 10 years later, they became best friends. After another decade, the samurai had reached the pinnacle of his swordsmanship and won their duel by a narrow margin. Kamai was so astonished by his defeat, he gave up drinking and began training to become stronger for their next duel. However, another 10 years later, Kamai did not meet the samurai. As it turned out, war had broken out in the south, and the samurai had gone to defend the border. Kamai was unconcerned, because 10 years was nothing in a yokai's lifetime. But when they met once again, Kamai discovered that the samurai was already 65 years old. He couldn't believe his eyes when he saw the samurai's gray hair and scars covering his body.
Hey, old friend. Can you still wield the sword?
I'm getting too old to fight. This time, I've come to say goodbye.
I see. Then, how about one last game of Akitsu Hazara?
All right.
The samurai gave his best effort during the game, but had to quit halfway through because he was too weak. After putting down his agoita, Kamai remained silent for a long time before letting out a long sigh.
What a shame.
Their friendship started as something they looked forward to. Lord Kamai's appearance hadn't changed, but his dear people often say that those outside the situation can see things more clearly. We yokai are different from humans. We have longer lifespans and different natures. When the dream ends, all that is left are sorrowful memories. Even a wise and seasoned yokai like Kamai felt sadness when it was time to say goodbye.
Oh.
So, you mean...
I was hiding on this beach, waiting for the last of them, but those 3 yokai came and set up the Akitsu Yugen. I didn't want them to approach humans with unbridled optimism and enthusiasm.
Is that why you pretended to be a ghost? To scare all the people away from here? Oh, so you must be the one who trapped that guy on the beach.
My power has become pretty weak now, and most of the time I just use some props I've collected, but that jerk was greedy. He wanted to steal the decorations from Akitsu. That's why I used my yokai power.
Ah, so that's what happened. By the way, how did you know the rest of the story?
It's okay if you don't want to tell us. Your true form is this pair of Hagoita, isn't it?
Hagoita? Oh.
The pair of Hagoita used by Kamai and the human samurai to play Akitsu. You gradually developed sentience after being influenced by great yokai power. You were the closest, even with the yokai power's blessing. The Hagoita have started to rot away after hundreds of years. You can't sustain yourself, so you were forced to rely on props to scare people. And if my theory is correct, this pair of Hagoita is also the item we...
Excellent work. You figured it all out. Congratulations, little ones. You've passed the 3rd round of the test of courage.
Miko? And The Shrine Maiden? Paimon thought you went missing!
I apologize for causing you concern.
Well, what? Because fear is induced by uncertainty, the more chaotic the situation, the better. Having the event staff also mysteriously vanish only added to the uncertainty.
So you're the one responsible for all the scary stuff.
Hitomi, go tell the others that the test of courage has ended and that we have a winner.
Now that I've solved the mystery, I'm going back to meet with my client. The intent to steal is not. I'll see you two later.
Miko, did you choose the Hagoita for the third round of the test of courage because you already knew about Chizuru?
Miko, Lady Yae, you're...
I followed Kitsune Saigu around the Mikawa Flower Festival one year and saw her play Akitsu Hazura. That was when I saw you. You didn't have a human form at the time and possessed only the earliest...
I remember now. You were on Kitsune Saigu?
I went for a stroll on the beach some time ago and sensed a familiar yokai power. Though your power was weak, I was still able to find you. You were sitting in a tree. I overheard you telling yourself that you must be patient and avoid contact with humans.
Huh? When was that? I didn't notice you at all.
With your powers being so diminished, it was only natural that you didn't notice me. You must have been blaming yourself all this time. You knew Kamai and the samurai became friends as a result of Akitsu Hazura.
At the time, I couldn't take on a human form like this. After they first met at the Mikawa Flower Festival, I felt proud to know that But after they said their final goodbyes, I could often hear Kamai sighing to himself. Lady Yae, you are a well-known yokai. You must... People meet, become friends, and then go their separate ways. After such a short time, they leave. Is it really worthwhile for us yokai to interact?
Why not? Tell me, how did you feel when you played Akitsu Yugen with the trap?
I felt happy, but...
But your rationality told you that it was wrong, didn't it? It turns out that there is still another piece to the story of Kamai and the samurai.
What do you mean? The samurai and Kamai never met again.
True, but the story doesn't end there. That samurai's name, it is believed that Takuto developed this style of swordsmanship while dueling with Kamai, who had also befriended the 500 years ago. Kamai and Tominaga fought side by side until their final moment.
Oh.
We yokai are not like humans. Humans have too short a lifespan, and the day will end. However, the bond formed by friendship will... There's no reason to be upset by this. Time flies by in an instant, and life passes by like...
Hey, compadres!
Ito, what are you doing here?
He told me everything. And I also heard that you won the last round. I even know who the ghost lady is now. Anyway, I had a little discussion with the others, and... Hey, you're that fox lady. Why are you here?
Please just disregard my presence. Now, tell us what you discussed.
Ah, right. All right, listen up. To celebrate the end of the Test of Courage event, we will be holding the Mikawa Flower. I gave it some real thought and realized that it might be kind of difficult for those little yokai to hold the festival on their own. That's right. Arataki, the one and only Ito, will be in charge of organizing the best Mikawa Flower.
Hooray for Ito!
Oh.
Can we really trust this guy with the festival?
Hey, what you trying to say? Besides, it won't just be me. Other people will help too. Even my bro Ayato is gonna be there. Everyone's busy getting ready, and the festival will be up and running in no time. It won't be long until you can all...
You're the best, Ito!
And what would a festival be without me? I'll be sure to go have a look too. It has been some time since I've attended a festival. Fortunately, I brought sake with me.
Paimon's gotta admit, Ito festival, delicious food. Count Paimon in!
All right, I'll join, if you don't mind.
Looks like the festival has started! Let's go check it out!
Oh, no! I almost had...
Oh, starting to get the hang of it, huh? Keep trying.
Oh, I sure bought a lot of stuff. I'll have to work.
I want to become a great yokai, like the mighty Ura. Then I'll be able to help create a real Mikawa flower.
Ito and Goro! What are you two talking about?
Oh, I was just saying that if I had more time, I'd have built a massive fishing pond here.
Fishing? You know, when I lived on Watatsumi Island, I used to just dive into the sea and
Take it from an expert, using your hands to catch fish is no... Just the other day, I caught a fish so big that I didn't even know how to handle it. I even wrote a...
That's an unusual problem to have.
Huh? A big fish? How come you didn't tell us?
Huh? You wrote a letter to Yai Publishing House?
Oh, you bet I did. I wrote to the That's Life column and asked Miss Hina for advice. Ah, she's so amazing.
Huh, what a coincidence. I do some part-time work there, and I recently received a similar letter.
You mean the letter was about dealing with a giant fish they caught? No. Could it be? Could it be that there's someone as good at fishing as I am? Oh, not on my watch. Hey, you all go enjoy the festival. I'm gonna get out there and catch an Just you wait. I'll be inviting you all to my fish feast.
Aw, the string snapped. I was so close. Yoimiya, this is more difficult than it looks. Can you really fish out these water balloons with a string?
Don't worry, let me show you a little trick. Just remember that your hand has to be quick.
Yo-Yo Tsuri! Paimon's seen this game in some light novels before!
Do you want to give it a shot? Close one eye, aim carefully, and fish it out quickly.
Oh, it looks kinda tricky. Paimon will let the traveler try.
But Yoimiya, if I close one eye, I won't be able to see anything.
This ramen is so good. Yes, it feels like it's been ages since the last time I...
You mean you don't get to eat ramen very often, Ayaka? But it's so delicious!
Oh, it's you. We'll need 2 more bowls of ramen, please. Food like ramen and hot pot tend to have a lot of oil and salt, so
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, now Paimon totally gets why Ayaka would put cake into hot pot.
Huh?
Oh, please, no need to bring that up again.
Phew, I'm stuffed and feeling a little sleepy. I'm just gonna...
By the way, were there any special stalls at yokai festivals in the past?
Yes, but... well, it's a long story.
Paimon can't believe you couldn't get a single water balloon. You've gotten rusty. Chizuru managed to finally get one and gave it to Hitotsume Kozo.
He looked like he really wanted it.
But Paimon wanted one too.
All right, then I'll...
Yay!
Come on now, this is way more expensive than usual. Even if it is a festival, you shouldn't hike up the prices this much.
Hey now, it costs money to run a stall.
I need to raise my prices to help cover the expense.
Fair enough. How about 5 masks for 30% off? Final offer.
All right, all right.
It's so hot. Feels like I'm being roasted here.
Don't get too close. It's better to keep...
I know. It's just so rare to see such a nice bonfire. I want to get...
There are many beautiful things in the world. There's no need to be anxious.
I was surprised that you didn't even tell your sister. It seems she was quite frightened, too.
It would have been uninteresting had I told her what was going to happen ahead of time. Besides, with her friends by her side, she wouldn't ever be too scared. Having a little fright is good to release any tension she might have...
Everything went according to plan. People start...
Yes, well done.
Hey, you two, stop laughing! It was scary!
Have you finished exploring the festival? Well then, are you having a good time?
Yeah, it's great!
The original Mikawa Flower Festival was much more lively, but even if you could attend the original, you probably wouldn't be as happy as you are now, because it's always more fun to enjoy a festival with friends, isn't it?
Yes. Thank you.
Well then, I'm guessing you have something you want to say to him alone? We'll leave you in peace.
What did you want to say to us?
Ah, you saw through me again.
It's not that I know everything. It's just that I've been in your position before.
Traveler, do you have a moment?
Saying goodbye is also...
Yes. Every celebration must...
Are you enjoying yourself? How about we go eat?
Weird. Where did all the fish go?
Don't worry. Let's go try another spot.
Oh, I sure bought a lot of stuff. I'll have to work.
One bowl of ramen shouldn't hurt, right?
Oh, starting to get the hit.
I want to become a group, then I'll be able to help.
All right, here will do. Thank you. Actually, I was delighted when I first discovered that I was a yokai derived from a pair of Hagoita who came into being in the middle. I wanted to go to more festivals, become friends, but every evening as night began to set in, I'd recall the bit, then I would wonder if I became... As a result, I was convinced that I couldn't do it. I'm sorry that I spoke so strangely when we first met. I expected you to flee in terror. But when we met again, I knew you mistook me as one of the yokai. But instead of telling you the truth, I'm not... Perhaps it's because I've always wanted to be like Kamai and... Or perhaps it was because I knew I didn't have much time left, and I didn't want to be alone. Anyway, thank you for taking the time to... When we played Akitsu Yugen, Paimon said the loser would have to... At the time, I would... However, you still came and found me. Let me think. I wish for you to remember me. Okay. I wish that every day of your journey ahead will be filled with joy, like a festival.
gliding be faster?
I've grown taller. I'm so tall. Everyone else looks so tiny now.
Every year when the fireworks go off, I say to myself, another year has already passed. As each year passes by, your life gradually approaches its end. But I don't think that's a bad thing. Like I always say, fireworks are for now.
After hearing Chizuru describe the original Mikawa Flower Festival, I didn't expect that would be our last conversation.
When Ayato approached me about holding the Test of Courage event, it dawned on me that this Kamai and the Samurai's parting was one of the first things she experienced when she was partially sentient, and this was a very traumatic experience for her, and she could never— The best option for her was to directly interact with humans.
So, did you enjoy the Once I learned of the yokai's intentions to hold a festival, I wanted to spread the word and attract people to their event. However, it occurred to me that doing so might be overly ambitious. So I decided on using the Test of Courage's notoriety. I had an inkling that their presence would spice.
Will you have some time in the next— I'd like you to work on a case with me.
Oh, did you run into some—
Not exactly. It's just an old case, but I believe your attuned sense of nature—
Sure. I can stay after the fest.
Great! Thank you.
My pleasure. It's no— Even though I knew my lord had most likely planned everything before the Test of Courage, but in retrospect...
It was, heartbreaking to learn of Chizuru's story. To be honest, I experienced that same kind of sorrow when I'm on the battlefield. I don't know when I'll—
Lifespans, partings, it really gets you thinking, doesn't it? Alls I know is I'll never regret meeting you.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?